3, multiplying numbers in scientific notation. I'm going to recall a little bit back on our Unit 3, multiplying. What do we do when we multiply exponents or bases with exponents? We end up adding the exponents, all right? So we're going to recall some of that. Your I can statements. I can multiply and divide two numbers. Well, today we're just going to be doing the multiplying. We're going to be doing the dividing tomorrow on Friday. And you all better be good and listening to your sub, because I have notes, I know. I can identify and interpret the various ways scientific notation is displayed on calculators and through computer software. What does that mean? Let's go here. Fill in the blanks, all right? No daydreaming, everybody out there filling in the blanks. Use the what? What property is it that we can use where order doesn't matter? Starts with a C. What is it? Oh, commutative property. C-O-M-M-U-T-A-T-I-V-E. The commutative property, so you're going to use that. And the other one, we're grouping, where the grouping symbols don't matter. You can change them around. Anyone remember that one? Blurt it. I don't know if anybody said it. Associative. Pretty sure the sub's keeping track for me, though, and writing down names of all those people out there that are recalling, like, this person did an awesome job. Use the commutative and the associative properties to regroup. Regroup the factors. All right? Number 2, what are we going to do? We're going to blank the decimal, the number. What? We are going to multiply. Multiply the decimal, the numbers, which are the factors. Number 3, no sleeping. Number 3, use the product. Product is an answer when you blurt it. Multiply. Use the product of powers rule to multiply the powers of 10. And what did we just say? I just said it a little bit ago. What do we do to the exponents? We add them. Remember, for example, if I have x to the 3rd power times x to the 5th power, that's going to equal x to the 8th power. We add our exponents when we multiply. All right? Number 4. As needed, rewrite the answer in, what is this whole unit called? What kind of notation? Blurt it. I didn't hear you. Blurt it. Good. Scientific. It is in scientific notation. Nicely done. Make sure you have those filled in. Now let's practice. This is actually a really pretty easy lesson if you're following along and not daydreaming, not talking and not smirking at your neighbors. We're doing a good job paying attention. All right, let's do this one first. Letter A. What do we need to do first? Well, it's this times this. What do we want to use? Our properties. We can rearrange them, regroup them. So what do I want to do? And kind of wish they would have used a time sign here. Let's make that a dot so it doesn't look like an X. All right, these kind of can be looking like X's. Looks like it might be a variable. All right, so what do I want to do? I can multiply a -3 times 2. Why? Because these only have the assumed 1. They don't have exponents, so I can multiply those. All right? And then I can look at my base 10s here, and I can multiply those. 10 to the 4th power times 10 to the 9th power. What do I get when I multiply a -3 times 2? Please don't say -5. Blurt it. What do I get? -3 times 2. -6. Good. And now what do I get when I take this times, because this is separate here, times, oh, I just said I didn't like the X and then I made it. -6 times, what do we get here? 10 to the 4 plus 9 is 13th power. Right? Now it's kind of tricky because yesterday we talked about I didn't really like this, the dot, because it looks like a decimal. So I guess really -6 times 10 to the 13th power. If you want to use the dot or the times sign, just so you know that in here, these are not variables. These are times signs down here. So here we have our final answer. What do we get when we multiply a -3 times to the 10th, times 10 to the 4th power, times 2 times 10 to the 9th? Simplified, -6 times 10 to the 13th power. All right, letter B. Let me clear my board. What are we going to do first? Multiply 2.4 times 4, and then our power of 10s. I'm going to take that times 10 to the 8th power times 10 to the -14th power. All right? Whiteboard's out. Hold up your answer. The sub can hit pause on here if they want to. They have my answer key to my notes, so they know what the right answer is, plus they know I get it because they're listening, and hopefully all you are too. All right, hold up your answer on your whiteboards. What do you get? Hopefully, when you multiply now, 2.4 times 4 is 9.6 times, now what is our 8 plus a -14? Battle of the integers. And the negative wins, 10 to the negative, how many did they win by? 6th power. So our scientific notation final answer is 9.6 times 10 to the -6th power. Done. All right, letter C. Let's have at letter C. Clear my board. Let's see, I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can rewrite it up here. Not going anywhere. There we go. All right. Whiteboard's out. Whiteboard's out. Try this one on your own. Hold up your answer. All right. For those of you, if you're having troubles, remember we multiply our constants. There we go. So we have 5 times a -1.7 times, then we do our base 10s, 10 to the -3 times 10 to the -7. Remember, we add these two exponents. Now let me see your answer. Hold it up in your whiteboards. The sub is checking. All right, hopefully you multiplied. Here you got a -8.5 times 10 to the a -3 plus a -7 is a -10th power. So -8.5 times 10 to the -10. Done. All right, letter D. Another one. Here we go. All right, this one's, I don't think it's that hard. Okay, go ahead and show me your answer on your whiteboard. At this time, the sub can hit pause on the video while you guys show the sub your answer. And don't let this one fool you. There's a little trick to this one. You think you might have the final answer, but if Mrs. Lennon was here, I would say, so far. Don't let this, when you get to your final answer, ask yourself, does this follow all the rules of what my scientific notation should look like? should be going 6 times 2, all right, 6 times 2, and then we have times 10 to the 7th times 10 to the 2nd. Pretty sure everybody got to that part, and then we got here, and I'm assuming you would get 12, because 2 times 6 is 12, times 10 to the, added these up, and you got 9th power. And you're like, that's right. Yep, that is right. So far. Why so far? Why is this part not done? This part is not done because right here. What's wrong with that? That number is not between 1 and 10. It's bigger than 10. So we have to fix it. We have to write it to be scientific notation. It's got to be 1.2. So we're going to have to move the decimal in. So now our final answer, I'm just going to write below here. 1.2, because to turn this here into scientific notation, that's 1.2 times 10 to the, how many times did we move it? We moved it once. And then we still have this times 10 to the 9th power, all right? So now we have 1.2, we move that down, times 10 to the, well, what's 1 plus 9? 10th power. So your final answer should be 1.2 times 10 to the 10th power. So before you go circling your answer thinking you're all hot shots and you're done, make sure that your final answer, that this number is between or greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. All right, with that knowledge, let's do letter E. All right, I'm going to slide my board up. Letter E. That knowledge, do the same thing, but make sure your final answer's in scientific notation form. Hold up your answer for the sub to see if you got the right answer or not. Okay, we can push pause here. Okay, we're probably back. Now we will see how you did. 3.9 times 7 times, then we're going to rearrange them. We can go 10 to the negative 5 times 10 to the 2. Well, 3.9 times 7 is 27.3 times how many tens? 10 to the negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. So far, so good. What do I need to do? You needed to move it over here once. So we now have 2.73. And what did we have to do to get that into scientific notation? We take that times 10. We moved it once to the first power. And then we still have times 10 to the negative 3 up here. Now we simplify our base 10s. 2.73 times 10 to the 1 minus 3 is a minus 2 to the negative 2 power. Final answer. All right, one more left right here. Once you get the right answer to letter F, and you hold up the right answer on your whiteboard, and the sub tells you that you are correct, you may start, grab a packet, wherever the sub has it on the podium or over on my desk. Grab a packet after you get the correct answer to letter F, and you need to do pages 1 and 2 for tomorrow. Pages 1 and 2 will be corrected tomorrow, so you won't end up in any lunch detention when I come back. And you can push pause here, and then you can start it again for those that are having troubles, and I'll finish letter F. Okay, starting back up. Final one for today. You should have done this. A negative 4.7 times 2.5 is a negative 11.75 times 10 to the, well, we have 10 to the negative 9 10 to the negative 8. We add those exponents and we get 10 to the negative 17. But once again, we don't have a number between 1 and 10. So let's scooch that decimal over 1. We have a negative, that still stays the same, negative 1.175, and then we had to multiply that times 10 to the first power when we moved it. And then we still have this times 10 to the negative 17. So simplifying that, we go a negative 1.175 times 10 to the 1 plus a negative 17 ends up with a negative 16. Final answer right there. All right. No goofing around. I don't want to see any names on the paper when I get back. Working on pages 1 and 2 in your new packet for Unit 4.